Hi, welcome to this Excel tutorial. We are Group 4, and today we're going to be exploring the wide array of view functions as we can see here. So let us start off by exploring the freeze panes option. So what happens is when we are scrolling through large data sets, we often lose track of the column headers over here. As you can see here, ITC, MRF are the headers. And once we start scrolling down, we lose track of what the header was, and this leads to a lot of errors while interpreting the data. So to remove this error, we can use the freeze panes option, which is found in the view, and you can go to freeze panes. So where you can use the freeze the top row option. So this freezes all the top line headers. And so once you scroll down, the headers remain constant and you can check the data in accordance to that. So similarly, you could also use the freeze option for while you're scrolling right side as well. So for example, let's say you're scrolling to the right and you want to keep the columns frozen. You could do that as well by going to the view tab and then going to freeze panes, and you can freeze the first column. And then as you move along the date column remains fixated. So this is all about the freeze panes option. Next, we could move on to, then you could obviously use unfreeze the panes to get back to your normal view settings. Next, we could talk about zoom functions, which help us zoom into specific data sets, because once large amount of data is there, we don't see it in the right magnification. We might, may end up making errors. So we can, to use the zoom function, we could press Control and then right click on your mouse button. You can use your keypad to zoom in. This is a shortcut. Apart from that, you could obviously use the manual zoom window here, which could adjust the zoom. This is one way. And the other way to zoom in is using the zoom tab here. Let's explore a special feature here. Let's say you want to zoom into specific cells you've selected. I'm going to select these four cells. And then we could use zoom selection to zoom into this particular selection. Yeah, so this is what you could do to concentrate on specific data. Then you could obviously go back. And then finally, we will look at the hide and unhide function. So what the hide and unhide function does is hides the whole worksheet if you wanted to. And then you could use unhide here to unhide the whole worksheet again. Then there are also, why would you use hide function in a day-to-day basis? We might not require certain data. Let's say the HDFC row we do not require. What we could do is select this whole column, and then we could right click and then go to hide. So then what this does is it hides the HDFC row here, as you can see. The whole column is hidden and you can scroll through the data. To unhide this, you can select the two columns, C and E, as HDFC is in between them. And then we could right click again, and then you can go to unhide. So this again reveals the HDFC one. The similar thing could be done with rows as well. Let's say you want to hide row 11. So row number 11 can be selected. And then you could right click and go to hide. This would hide the row. And then again, click the two rows, like 11 lies between 10 and 12. So select 10 and 12, right click and press unhide, and you can unhide the same. Now moving on, Honey will explain the following features.
So Excel has a split screen feature that divides your windows into horizontal or vertical panels, and then you can scroll these separate sheet. So Harit will show you how. So Harit, click column H. Yeah, go on split screen. Yeah. So now you can scroll these separately. This part of the sheet and right and left part of the sheet separately. This is useful for people who have large data sets and require a lot of back and forth in the same sheet. So yeah. And if you have to unsplit this, go on split again, click once, then yeah. So next is how to minimize your ribbon. Uh, You just have to click on that down arrow. Click Harith. Yeah, and click on show tabs only. This will this is required for people who have to view the whole document. Uh, yeah, and if you want that tab again, just click on home or any of the tabs there. Thank you.
All right. So I'll be explaining the watermark feature, the background feature, and a few other features in Excel. So just give me a minute. I'll just share my screen. Yeah. My screen visible? My screen visible, guys? Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Okay. So to start with the background feature, you have to go to page layout, and there is the, so you can see as there's a background here. You click on that, and I'm going to take a file from my system. So you click on that, and there are two background samples I've taken. So I'll take this and I'll insert. So as you can see, the background has been applied to the entire Excel workbook. And since since the file is only of a certain pixel size, it gets repeated as you go down, right? So we can always delete the background, and I can show you a different background again from the file. I'll take and I'll insert. So this is a newly applied background. So if you have done conditional formatting to a certain region of your Excel workbook, the background won't be applied to that part alone. Rest of the parts of the workbook, it will be applied. So I'll have to remove the background now. I'll remove it. And now I'll show you the watermark feature. So for watermark, we'll have to go to the search tab on top and click on header and footer. So once we click on header and footer, it takes us, so let's just go up the workbook 1 second. Yeah. So in the header, we click on the header part and we choose picture here. So we again insert a file, and this is a sample watermark I've chosen. So we click enter a few times and then we click somewhere else, and the watermark has been applied to the entire Excel workbook, to all parts of the workbook. As you can see, to every page it's been applied. So I can take it to the normal view, and now we will look upon the autofill feature. So yeah, so here I've taken 1 second. Yeah. So if you can see, I've taken an example here, the autofill function. So we're going to take the date 1st January 2023, and let's assume that we want to boost the date till say 5th or 6th. So we drag it down and we leave the mouse, and you can see the autofill function has been performed successfully. And this can be used for large number of datas if you have. So you can, if you have to have numbers, you can use the autofill function. Or if you have to use dates, you can use that too. And last is custom list. So I'll first show how to open a custom list. So it's not visible in the ribbon. So you'll have to click on file. Then you'll have to click on options. You will have to go to advanced here. Then you'll have to go down and you'll have to go to the general tab where it's visible. Over here, if you can see, there's a general tab. Under that, the last option is edit custom lists. So this depends upon version to version of Excel. So this is anything above 2010. This is a way to proceed. 2007, there's a MS Office button that can be used. So edit custom list. As you can see, I have made a custom list of the last, right? So I've entered a few names from a sitcom over here. So you click OK and you close this pop-up box. So here is the custom list, if you can see. So I just drag down and I can take it till here, and my custom list has been created that was made there.
Now, Zaman, I'll be showing you the use of workbook and how to change the views for different purposes. So to change the view, first you have to go to the view and this is the workbook view. So right now this is a normal view, and this is how the normal view looks like. But if you want to see, like, as you can see, this is the big data, like large, it's a big data. So to see how it will come out on A4 size pages, or like how many pages will it take. So to check that, you can use page break preview. So when you click on that, now it shows you page one, page two should be here, page two, page three. So it shows you, like, it will come like this on an A4 size sheet when you go for printing. So now let's go back to the normal view. Now, if you want to add some kind of heading to this, or some footers to it, you can go for page layout. When you go for page layout, you can add any headings over here, like suppose XYZ Limited. So when you add that heading over here, now this heading will be there on each and every page. So, and you can add the footer over here. So when you go for printing, even you can check while going in the options, file, and go for print. So when you go for print, you can check over here. Now, let's go by the normal view first. Last kind of view in workbook views is custom views. It's right here. So the use of custom view is when you don't want to show particular data and you want to show only some data. So what you can do is, like, for example, you want to show data only till Reliance and not the remaining data. So what you can do is select the entire data, go to custom views, add, and give it a name, for example, page 1, and press OK. Now, when you want to remove the remaining data and you don't want to show it, what you're going to do is select this entire data and hide it. Then go back to custom views, again add, and give it a name, but some different name from the previous one. Page 2, for example. So now when you want to show only till Reliance, you can use page 2 in custom views. And if you want to show the remaining data also, so go back to custom views, go to page 1 and press show. And now you can show the entire data. Thank you.